welcome back to my channel. So as you see from the title, today's video is about pregnancy loss. We lost our son last year, end of last year. Everything was fine, scans were fine. Went for a midwife checkup. She couldn't find a heartbeat, so went to the hospital, had a scan, and they confirmed that he passed away. So I had to deliver him 2 days later. That wasn't fun. Because of COVID, obviously, finding out why has taken a long time. We still don't really know why. Yeah, don't really know what to say. It's not a lot you can say, is there? But on the bright side, we found out we were expecting again, quicker than we thought. I wasn't kind of planning on having a baby that quickly afterwards, getting pregnant that quickly afterwards. But then I guess Mother Nature took over. And I found out last week that it's another boy. I do have another scan this week, so I will get them to confirm. It looked pretty obvious to me, but you never know. They have been known to be wrong. So yes, that was kind of our story. It's hard to process, some people find it really easy to talk about. I find it easier now to talk about than I did before. Before I just wouldn't talk about it at all. Obviously it's kind of been 6 months, so it's easier now. I don't know whether it's easier because I'm pregnant again. But yeah, the other thing I have found really difficult this time is obviously with COVID restrictions, is I have to go to all of the appointments on my own. So all of my scans have been alone, all of my doctor's appointments, midwife appointments, my consultant appointment will be alone. So anything, bad news, decision making, I have to do by myself. And I know women who don't have partners do it by themselves, all the time. But I suppose when you're used to having somebody there with you, then having to go in on your own obviously makes a world of difference. I was quite fortunate that I did manage to persuade them to let my husband come with me when I had to go and have the scan after my midwife appointment, after I couldn't find a heartbeat. I managed to, persuade them to let my husband come, which I'm glad I did. Otherwise I'd have had to have received that news by myself too. And nobody wants to receive that news alone. No one wants to receive that news at all. But alone's even worse. I'm sorry if it's really noisy. It's really busy outside today. It's really quiet normally. So yeah, that's the thing I have struggled with the most, I think, is going to everything alone, because they can't find a cause at the moment of why he died. This time they are being extra careful, which I'm grateful for, and they are doing extra scans. At the moment I'm going every 2 weeks, which is great because I get to see the baby a lot. But on the other hand, literally I'm fine until just before I have to go in, or if I'm waiting to go in, and then I just get really anxious and really nervous, and then when I have to lay on the bed and wait for them to find that, just every single time I just panic, thinking, is it going to be bad news? Is it going to be bad news? And I kind of prepare myself every time for them saying, I'm really sorry. And it's been okay so far, but I think I still am preparing myself for bad news. I also found out on my last scan that my placenta is in the wrong place. So I have to see the consultant at the end of April, and possibly will need a C-section. I've never had a C-section, obviously including delivering my son last year. I've delivered 6 naturally, without issue. I've never had an epidural. The most I've ever had is a bit of gas and air, but then even that made me sick. I got a really dry mouth, so I just didn't end up using it very much. So I literally went cold turkey every single time. Cold turkey. I just did it naturally, I suppose. So yeah, having a cesarean is that's quite scary. Having a needle in your spine. It's not something I envisioned for being a fun afternoon or a fun morning. I also, my 5th pregnancy, my daughter stopped growing at 37 weeks. I can't remember what it's called, growth restriction, something in utero growth restriction. But instead of putting on the normal amount of weight at the end of a pregnancy, she put on 5 ounces in 3 weeks and 2 days, which obviously is not good. So either way, I think with this one, either if he's growing okay, they will plan a delivery for 39 weeks, or they will plan a delivery for 37 weeks if he's not growing. So that's just a wait and see, I guess. We do have our 20-week scan in a few weeks' time. So I've got another scan on Saturday, and then another one 2 weeks after that. So safe to say I never want to see a hospital again. After that, I have been brave and bought a couple of baby bits. I have kind of refrained just in case. I obviously had stuff from before, but it kind of feels wrong to use that. So I have bought new stuff, which people think I'm a bit crazy, but it just kind of feels a bit wrong using things that I've bought before. Even though they're brand new, they're packed away in his box, with everything, his blanket, his little snowsuit that we'd bought, obviously because he was going to be a winter baby. Yeah, and so we kind of had bought all of that kind of thing. His changing bag, I never actually packed the changing bag, so I have used that. But everything else is kind of packed away in his little box, so I've kind of left it where it is, I know a lot of people will be like, just use it again, it's fine, but it just doesn't feel right, and I can't bring myself to do that kind of thing, so I haven't. I have brought new stuff. This will definitely be our last baby, definitely. I said to my husband, either one of us is getting snipped, preferably you, because I've done all the hard work. But yeah, so it's going okay at the moment. So I don't know, we're just taking each day, taking each week as it comes. I'm just hoping and praying that everything will be fine. And just hoping for the best, hoping, he's okay. We've told the kids, they're okay. My son is hopeful that he actually gets a brother. He's got 4 sisters, so a brother would be very welcome for him. He's a little outnumbered, poor boy. So he is hoping for a successful pregnancy, as we all are. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. The nausea is wearing off, thank goodness. Still exhausted though, just ridiculously exhausted still, even though I'm in my 2nd trimester. It wasn't too bad, but sickness wise, just nausea. Wasn't sick at all in the first trimester. So I've always been sick. I had hyperemesis with my son, so I was prepared for that if it happened, but it didn't. I've actually been the least sick I've ever been being pregnant this time. So I suppose that's a blessing in disguise. But yeah, I have not broken out. I've not had any skin breakouts. My hair's not been too bad, although I have been using Function of Beauty shampoo and conditioner. And I've got to say, I've been using it for a couple of weeks and I'm pretty impressed. My hair is kind of, it's growing anyway, obviously, because your hair does grow during pregnancy. But my hair hasn't fallen out this time. In every pregnancy I've had, my hair has always fallen out, like in clumps. And just every time I brush my hair, I've just ended up with, you know, half a head in my hand. But that's not happened this time. So I'm kind of like, you never know. I'm sure after I've had the baby, it will fall out because it always does. But so far, so good. The Function of Beauty does seem to be working on my hair. So far I could recommend that. I just bought the small bottles, the smaller bottles first, just to see whether it worked or not. And so far, I've got to say I'm pretty impressed. Obviously my hair needs cutting, but because of lockdown, I've got to wait until the end of April, hopefully, so I can go and get my hair cut. And just coloured a bit. Obviously this isn't natural. But yeah, I have done also a pregnancy clothing haul from Boohoo. I know they've been in the news, so that might be controversial, but I know somebody who works over here for Boohoo, and I know it's all kind of fine and above board and there's no dodginess going on. So I got this from Boohoo. It's actually a shirt dress, but I'm wearing it as a top over some jeans just because it's not warm enough to have it as a dress. And I also got this vest top just in the maternity. Just a couple of loose bits for the moment, because I'm not small enough for normal clothes anymore, but I'm in that horrible stage where I'm not big enough for full-on maternity clothes either. So it's a lot of leggings, a lot of leggings, and I got those clip things, or those fake buttons that you can use on your own trousers to do your trousers up, like give you an extra elastic bit. So I've used those on some of my jeans and been wearing jeggings and all of that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'll either grow a bit soon so I can wear some real clothes, and it'll get sunny and we'll get spring and summer, hopefully. And I can go full on maternity, because I kind of feel a bit of a fraud at the moment wearing maternity clothes when I'm just not that big. You can tell I'm pregnant, either that or eating a lot of pie and cake. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I will update you guys next week with my clothing haul. I did try on a bra that I bought last night, but that was a epic fail, so I definitely won't be keeping that. That's definitely going back. And I will show you a couple of bits that I've ordered for baby. Obviously all being well with the scan on Saturday. I would update you with the scan, and I also have my midwife appointment next week, so we will see how that all goes. Depending where you are, the kids go back to school on Monday, which quite frankly I am grateful for. I have loved having them at home. I have loved not having to get up really early to get them to school. That has been great. But yeah, it's definitely time for them to go back to school. Get a bit of freedom back. But yeah, so hopefully, all things being well, I will do my 16-week update next week, and just let you know how things are going. I do have to telephone the consultant, so I'm hoping that we might be able to get some kind of update. I know they said postmortems are taking months and months at the moment because of COVID. So we're kind of having to be patient, which is fine. They've done all the genetic test, and they couldn't find any Downs, any Patels or any Edwards on our previous pregnancy, and they've done it on this pregnancy too, and we've had the results and it's all fine this time as well. So yeah, it's just a case of finding out. So yeah, I will update you then, but have a lovely week. I hope it is sunny where you are. It's raining here, but yeah, I'll see you soon.